What is up, Eagles Nation? The draft is over, and we about to get into it. I brought my boy Gate City in the building, so you know what time it is. Let's talk some draft. But first, check this guy out that the Eagles drafted.
Does anyone realize who the Eagles just drafted yesterday? It is the closest thing we've seen to Myles Garrett, and his name is Uwar Bernard. He has never played a single snap of football. He's from a small village in Nigeria and taught himself football through YouTube videos and training in the jungle. He is 6'4", 306 pounds, and runs a 4.63 40-yard dash. And by the way, if you want to stay on top of NFL stories like this, make sure to follow. The guy scored a 9.9 relative athletic score out of 10 at the Combine, the 23rd best since 1987 for defensive tackles. I mean, actually, he led all defensive tackles in basically every single stat. He has a 39-inch vertical. That is higher than Russell Westbrook. And the craziest part about his build, he has 6% body fat. The guy is not human. So yeah, the man has never played football. Who knows if he's gonna be a star? But this type of athleticism in the 7th round, you have to take a chance on him. And if he ends up being a problem in the NFL, the Eagles might have just made the best pick in NFL history.
Birds on the line.
How about our quarterback?
How about your
quarterback?
I'm your quarterback.
He's a stud.
He is a stud.
I knew he was going to play that way. I knew it. Don't doubt him. All he does
I'm
is win.
Birdgang 31 and I'm fly like an eagle. Hit him low, hit him high like the Eagles. Catch me on a podcast and we only talking Eagles. Dallas still sucks and ain't nothing like the Eagles. I'm one O-line, Jalen Hurts top 5. Run it like Saquon, like I'm down Queen. Always open AJ, touchdown, say. Strap him up like DeJean, sack him up, Zach Bond. On the road to victory, yeah. We gon' watch our Eagles fly. Hit him low, hit him high. Hit him low, hit him low, hit him high. We gon' hit him low, we gon' hit him high. We gon' hit him low, we gon' hit him high. We gon' hit him low, we gon' hit him high. We gon' Birdgang 31 is a host, man. Bringing Eagles to your door like the postman. Make some noise if you a real Birds fan. Make some noise if you a real Hurts fan. Yeah.
What up, Eagles Nation? It's your boy Birdgang 31 in the building. Hope everybody's having a great day. We're going to talk some draft today with my guy, Gate City. How you doing today, Gate? It's been a minute. Welcome back to the show.
Doing good, man. Doing good, bro. Excited to talk a little bit about this this draft class. It was very unique.
It was definitely a unique one, man. But first question will be is, did the Eagles get better or not?
Yeah, I think they got better. Yeah, I definitely think they got better, especially if you calculate in the fact that they got Grenard along with it. I know people have made the argument that, like they could have gotten Grenard before the draft. Like it's a way of trying to like kind of make people feel good about things. To me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you do it on draft day or you do it prior to draft day. You're counting in the picks that you give up for the player. Like he's part of that draft equation to me. So I think if you look at like Jonathan Grenard, Mekhi Lemon, what they're going to do with Stowers, players like that. I think you can definitely. I'm also really excited about Micah Morse. Mm-hmm. There's a few guys in this class that I think like, okay, like there's some shots. Like they're definitely doing projections long-term here. There's only a couple of these dudes I think are immediate contributors, but Howie knows how to play the game of value. And I think he did a good job of trying to play that game of value.
Chess, not checkers. What our boy Howie does, chess, not checkers all day in the NFL. Well, let's start off with our boy, my boy from USC, Mekhi Lemon, baby. I love the pick. For me personally, like I told everybody, like I wanted Sadiq, but at that point, I didn't think Mekhi Lemon was going to be on the board. So that's the reason why I said if I had to pick somebody, I picked Sadiq. I thought Mekhi was going to be in the top 12 or somewhere like that. He is the Bill Award winner, best receiver in college football. Like, how can you pass up on him? I knew maybe Tate would have got drafted before him, but I didn't really think Tyson was going to get drafted before him, just because of injury history. But he fell to us, man. And then I seen the Sadiq get picked up. They're like, no. I looked at the board like, wait. My boy's still there. Let's go, Howie. And from that moment on, I knew that was the pick for Philadelphia, man. Like, how do you feel about it? And what kind of skills do you think he's going to bring to this offense?
I was shocked that the Rams went the direction that they went. I understand quarterback long-term needs. You don't know if you're going to be picking 13th anytime soon, especially with the fact that you have a pretty talented laden roster. You know, you got Matthew Stafford as the quarterback. I get wanting to capitalize while you're in that moment. But I don't love the player they picked, to be quite honest, man. I didn't love his film. And I thought that was a team that probably could have definitely used Mekhi Lemon, especially when you look at the fact that there's a lot of uncertainty there. I mean, Devontae Adams wants a new contract, basically. He wants to be compensated higher than what he's being compensated. You know, you got the whole issue with Puka Nacua, and from my understanding, he's in rehab. I don't know how much that's going to affect things or stuff like that. But I mean, certainly there's some off the field things going on with Puka Nacua. On the field, the dude's a beast. Nothing but positive things to say about Puka. But they probably could have used, it makes sense, right? They got 101 tight ends. But they probably could have used another receiver out there. So that was like the first part that caught me off guard, because I was like, oh, like you know someone's going to slide in the draft. You just don't know what the circumstances it's going to cause the slide, and you don't know who the slide's going to be, right? Like I think I was hoping like hell it was going to be Kenyon Sadiq, to be honest.
Me too.
That was who I was hoping the slide was going to be, right?
When he was right there, when he was right there, you're like, come on, Howie, move up, come get him right now.
Yeah.
And then he got grabbed, like, no.
Yeah. I thought Caden Proctor was the other guy that I thought they really, really liked a lot. I think they liked him because of that inside-outside versatility, playing him guard or playing him tackle. And the dude's he's massive. I mean, he's what you call a displacer on your line. He's going to move the line. You're going to see that wave happen when there's a run game, when there's a run fit there. They couldn't get in. You know, that dude went like 11th overall, man, Caden Proctor did. I mean, he was ridiculously high. The linemen were flying off the board. And as soon as I saw him go inside the top 12, I was like, we're screwed. We're going to be very limited with who we can get as an offensive lineman if we stay here at 23. There's a chance that none of the dudes we've been talking about is going to be there at 23. And I thought Howie did the right thing. He saw how the board fell out. He knew that he didn't want to give up with so much compensation because he's trying to work the Jonathan Grenard angle too. He gets there. He knows Dallas will move out of that 20 spot. So he's probably already had preliminary discussions about that. Sees who's coming down the board. I don't know what the hell Pittsburgh was thinking. How do you not, dude, you should always be thinking to yourself, where the hell is Howie? If you have similar needs to Howie, you should be concerned if he hasn't picked in the round yet that this dude's going to leapfrog me, especially if it's only 3 picks. If we're only coming up 3 picks, you should be concerned. Go get your guy, man. You should have been on the phone with Dallas yourself trying to get your guy.
And been easier for him too. You know what I'm saying? It would have been a lot less compensation to go get him.
Exactly. And in terms of the player, love the kid, man. I mean, Biletnikoff winner, super physical, tough player. A lot of people, when I was talking to him at first, they weren't super sold on this. They didn't love he's not over 6 feet. He can't, he's not really a boundary, X-line split end wide receiver. They wanted that immediate AJ Brown replacement. And I'll be honest, I was really big on 2 players in this draft class that fit that mold. Dazon Stribling, who went to San Francisco, I think the world of that dude. I think while his production is chaotic and is really over the last part of the season, what I saw on tape, that dude's going to be a player in the league. If he can stay healthy and he picks up scheme, he's talented. He was one of those ones that's that split end people looking for. The other one was the young man from Louisville, Chris. His last name.
Bell.
Yeah, Chris Bell. Another guy, man. I think Chris Bell could potentially be the best receiver in this class if everything checks out with that leg. He's going to need a year. And obviously teams weren't willing to wait that year. And that's why he slid as far as he slid in this draft. But he's a guy that if we're not going in those directions and Mekhi Lemon is still there at 20, dude, I can't fault Howie. I mean, this guy, he's going to provide something for the Eagles that's probably different from what we envisioned as a fan base. But, man, it's still essential. It's still needy. What I think this young man is a player comp. You hear the Amon-Ra St. Brown comp, and it's, yes, 100%. That's a great comp. But you're talking about a really high end. I don't ever want to put that burden on a player, especially when he's not Batman in this offense. That's Devontae, right? He's got to be the Robin to the Batman here. Right. I think the better comps that I see here, and Amon-Ra St. Brown makes complete sense, but people that are in that same realm. A former Green Bay Packer in basically Randall Cobb, sub 6 foot, below 6 feet in height, 190 some pounds, tough, physical kid that would work your ass in the run game and could play across the middle of the field. Same exact type of player. And then also former New York Giant, Sterling Shepard. Those are guys that I think when I see the way that he plays, I'm like, oh shit. Like, yeah, man. Like, I think this dude's going to translate to the league. Like, and I always get people that tell me this. They're always like, hey, you think he's going to be like, like top 10 receiver? And I'm like, who the hell knows, man? Like, come on, man. This dude ain't take a single snap of professional football yet. I don't know. But I do think that, like, I would be shocked if by year 2, he's not eclipsing 700-yard seasons. And the only reason I'm not like standing like on my soapbox and screaming he's going to do that year 1 is that I think the offense is going to have this period to where allocation of targets is going to be different from what we're used to seeing. Devontae is going to get fed a lot because he's already got the trust with the quarterback. He's going to get fed a shit ton in this offense, in my opinion. And then you're going to have to factor in the fact that Wicks knows the coordinator. He knows
he's going to get his targets.
It's inevitable that Mekhi Lemon's going to take over. He's going to start getting those targets as the season goes on. But I think year 1, I'm more so looking like, can we get him over 50 targets and 400 yards? Because if he's over 50, if he's got 70 targets, 50 receptions, and 500 yards, we got it. We did it. We got a dude coming up. He's going to be good. Then the next season, I'm looking like, yo, give me 700. Now I'll start becoming that actual like fundamental piece to pair with like our true top 10 receiver, which is Devontae Smith. Then you start talking about the guy after year 2, those 1,000-yard marks. Can he start being that dynamic force that we see from others? And it's tough because everyone keeps like, everybody wants to know that answer. And it's like, dude, we got to see how the targets are allocated. Like, I don't think it's a lack of production in terms of what he's done previously that concerns me. I don't think it's a skill set issue. I think it's more so the fact that it's a spread the ball around with the coordinator and the system that's coming from. I mean, if we're getting a LaFleur-esque system, it's going to be, you're going to spread the ball around a lot, to be quite honest. And I think but I will say this, I think Philly fans are going to love this kid when they see him because he is, I mean, as much as the diva label got labeled on him, and it's utter bullshit. That whole label is bullshit. This young man is a straightforward, lunch pail, hard hat, lace your damn boots up player. He will do whatever is required of him, and he is not scared to get on your ass at the second level in the run game.
Facts.
12
I remember you talking about it, like one game he was having a bad game and like receiving wise, but he was definitely putting it out there on run blocking. He knew he wasn't getting the ball. He was just out there busting his ass, blocking linebackers, safeties, everything. Like, I'm a USC fan, so I love Lemon, and I understand people's take and they want to be, wary of the situation, but you look at last time we did this, it was Devontae Smith. I think Howie's got it right since Rager. The fact that he slid that far is amazing to me. Like, like I said, you don't win the Biletnikoff. People want Smith next year. You don't win that over a guy like him if he wasn't out there putting in work. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wasn't a man, like, if you ain't that guy, So I feel like people are kind of like undershading him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, understating his skill level. He doesn't drop a pass. He dropped 3 passes in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing. AJ's dropped the 3 passes in like 6 games. You know what I'm saying? Like, the difference is what people is like you said, people came out in the draft trying to think about who can we replace AJ with the same type of guy. I don't think that's the guy we need on this football team no more. We're actually transitioning out of having that guy. Devontae is going to number 1. And another thing I think people are misconstruing is they're like, oh, it's Lemon's not. They're judging him to be able to come in and replace what AJ did. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he going to come in and help replace what AJ did? It's not about him doing that. He's coming in to replace Devontae Smith production. You know what I'm saying? And Devontae Smith is the guy that's going to be getting those numbers, replacing what we want to see the AJ numbers to be. So it's either you believe in Smith, for one, to be able to be that guy to get those type of numbers. He will get the opportunity this year. And then you can take a little less off Lemon because, like you said, Witt's going to get the ball. Hollywood Brown's to get some deep shots. 2 tight ends now. We're going to get into him next, but 2 tight ends now you got to get the ball to. Saquon Barkley out of the backfield. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be a lot of mouths to feed, but the way it's set up now, it's going to be more. I think it's going to be more like the Green Bay style offense, where it's like tight end heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna bring them tight end. They're gonna block. They're gonna receive. Easy pitch and catch for Jalen Hurts. Like people don't understand. Like we heard Stalin say it. You know what I'm saying? Why did the offense suck so bad? Because you can't call bad plays and the bad defenses. And not make changes. So that takes it all out. Like we knew this about him the whole time. Now you heard Stalin, not with the organization no more, come out and confirm what we already knew. KP sucked. You know what I'm saying? He was trash. And now you look at. I always said like we always looked at games for the last since Nick Sirianni's been here and been like, why can't our offense look like that? Even when we won Super Bowls and went to Super Bowls, we were still like. Even the year Saquon was rushing, there's still games where we're like, why offense still look dry and stale? Why it still look predictable? Every year for the last 3 years, they've been talking about predictability from different players, coaches, freaking everything. So fans still try to like think that we're about to go into this season as the same team. Like I think it's going to be a dramatic overhaul. You know what I'm saying? It's not just going to be I think it's going to be more like you look at those teams that this coaching trees build up. Remember when Tampa Bay used to rock us? We had the best D line coming in with the pressure, but we couldn't get there fast enough. They used to rock us. The Rams. The Vikings. You got some Viking love in there. You got some. All these other teams like that. The Packers in there. All these other teams that when we watched them on Sunday, we're like, that looks like an offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think we have the quarterback to really produce that. Plus, our offensive line will be healthy this year. I think that makes a dramatic difference in the pass game too. With Jalen having time, he's going to be a dicey guy. And I think Lemon does get at least Devontae Smith numbers his first year. He might not be a 1,000-yard receiver yet. Devontae's going to do it. I think Devontae's going to be like a 1,500-yard receiver this year. People are really underestimating him, if you want to be honest. Like they think, how you can call him a 1B the whole time, and now that he gets his chance to be fully a number one, you're going to doubt him. You're going to be like, oh, we need so much production. No, either he was the man or he wasn't the man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody always said he was the man, so don't cower it down now that he's about to get his chance to shine. He's never been in a Pro Bowl. He never had no All-Pro. It's time for some accolades to come his way. He's an ingrown, in-house grown draft pick that this is his time to shine now. We gave him his time to develop. He developed into a very nice player, and the sky's the limit for this guy.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this is when it comes to the Mekhi Lemon and Eli Stowers pick, by the way, one thing that is signified to me is that they're going to attack the middle of the field. Mm-hmm. I mean, this guy Mekhi Lemon is absolutely incredible versus zone coverage. What this young man does in terms of the feel, how he can feel defenders and separate from them, people make a big deal about like, look, I mean, Jalen above 12 yards across the middle of the field. I mean, dude's pretty highly rated. I mean, his passer rating is pretty damn high. It's more so about getting him to trust it and throw it more often. Mm-hmm. And I think what a guy like Mekhi Lemon and Eli Stowers do in particular is they separate better underneath. They separate better against zone. They know how to set people up, and they're going to give those windows for Jalen to throw into where he's going to feel more comfortable not putting the ball at harm's risk as much. I think that's kind of the storyline that people are overlooking about it. They're all like, oh, he's not a fit. He works underneath. It's like, yeah, no shit. But do you see how much separation he gets underneath? Like, I get it. It's a contested.
And AJ was dominant underneath with his little 7-yard slant he did over and over again, but he wasn't even really getting separation. It wasn't good play scheme. It wasn't good play calling. So imagine having good play calling. That's been the problem of Jalen. Anything that I think there's yes, there's been games where Jalen just messed up. He's not perfect quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But a lot of it just scheme has been the whole time, the scheme. Even when we played good offense, it was still the scheme that prevented him from going to the next level. Like, if you're dialing it up the right way for this guy, he's made every throw in the book. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, these guys that Howie just drafted confirms the Eagles are confident in Jalen Hurts. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But let me get you 2 more guys that's better at what they do. No one was getting open last year. No one was getting open. So let's get the 2 best players at their positions if you want to look at awards. You know what I'm saying? Both of them. Mackey Award, Bolitnikoff Award. That's the best. You got 2 of the best players on your football team now for your quarterback. When you already had a Hollywood, a Wicks, Smitty, Goddard, a freaking Saquon. Like, that's showing love, you know what I'm saying, to your quarterback. You know, I'm going to help you out. You want to go big? We want you to go big. And I even think this is going to be his best passing year he probably ever had. He's going to have a competent coordinator. And you seen when Kellen Moore was competent, because he wasn't that much in the beginning. Remember, in the beginning of the first 6 games, it wasn't even all that good. But when he changed it up a little bit, Jalen started lighting it up.
I think they gave up on. I thought they gave up on the that's one thing I'll say is like it gets masked. You win a Super Bowl, no one's going to question it, right? Mm-hmm. I thought they gave up on Kellen Moore and Jalen Hurts and that offense way too damn soon. I think if anyone went back and re-looked at what the hell happened over the first 4 weeks, the first couple of weeks we're trying to learn the damn scheme. We're trying to implement the scheme, and then the receivers start going down one by one.
Yeah,
I mean, we literally played a game where it was like Dallas Goedert. that was pretty much his only damn receiving target to throw to. It was like, come on, man. Like, I feel like maybe we're throwing the baby out with the water here a little bit. Like, come on, like you got to give it a little bit more than that. But I think they just, they were like, look, we got Saquon, we got this damn offensive line. We'll come back and revisit this shit later. We just gonna get on people's asses.
Let's just run the rock, goddamn.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we want Jalen like as fan base over the years, right? And I would say I'm huge on it too, where you keep him between 20 and 25 passes. You know what I'm saying? That's a sweet spot, but that's only if he's running the rock. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to run the rock for that to be the sweet spot. If you're not, and that's what Jalen got to realize. If he's not going to run the rock, he doesn't really feel like running the rock no more. I see we drafted that Taysom Hill type quarterback late, and maybe let that guy go do some running. Like Jalen did with Carson Wentz when Carson Wentz was our quarterback. If you want to do something like that, that's fine too. But that means you got to go up and pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that you don't keep your superstardom if you're not going to do both.
They're going to still be. I'd say they're probably still going to be a pretty balanced team from the run to pass ratio. Just looking over exactly kind of the way that the Green Bay offense functioned. It's a little bit more pass heavy than what the Eagles are, but it's not drastically different in terms of the pass to run ratio. Like they're still one of the heavy run teams. Like as a matter of fact, it's funny is that McVay originally they kind of got back to the run game inside the West Coast offense. But over the recent years, a lot of those guys have kind of deviated away from the run, ironically. And they're a little bit more into that traditional from under center play, kind of getting back to like kind of the staples of Walsh's system in terms of like the West Coast offense a little bit. Obviously, like they're each kind of made their own divergence. Kyle Shanahan is going more shotgun than most of the other guys are. McVay's this year transitioned over to, or last year, transitioned over to the 13 personnel stuff and 12 personnel. It's always been a little heavy on 12, but went really heavy on 13. They're all got those, those change ups, man. And that's one thing, like, to try to point out to people is like, if you look at it, LaFleur and McVay in particular, those two guys from that tree, they run a lot of gap, power, duo. They inside zone. They're not all just outside zone. It's not just stretching outside zone with them. Like, I look at who they drafted, like, right? Mekhi Morris, and then they went and they got Markel Bell. Both of those dudes are absolute monsters in terms of the body profile. Like, they're not small guys. These are very much guys that you would expect to play probably in a gap, power, inside zone type scheme. Some of those areas, right? Now, I've seen some tape and I've seen footage, especially when I was looking over the tape for Micah Morris. When I watched his tape, I did see a little bit on his tape where he was kind of running some stretch and some zone stuff, outside zone. But it's not, obviously you're going by percentages. And I just look at it this way, man. Like when you look at holistically the whole group, they went out there and they went to go get people who can separate underneath. They still have outside threats on you because even, look, Mekhi Lemon's going to have to prove some things. One of the things he's going to have to prove is when they go into 12-man personnel and he's on the field, if he gets pressed, especially if he's on the short side of the field, essentially the boundary, right? Playing split end X. If he gets pressed, he's pretty damn good against man coverage, to be honest. If you go look, he's as highly graded in man as he is in zone. But I will say this from the tape. He shakes you a little bit with the finesse. He can release with his feet pretty well. He's got to be better up top with the hands. He's got to learn how to release with the upper body and the hands better. That's something like, think about how far we just had to go to nitpick and criticize something. That's how good of a prospect this is.
He's a dog. He's a dog, and he wants to be the best. And I just love his mindset, man. I love his mentality that he plays with. You know what I'm saying? He just wants to be the best. And I think, like I said, the biggest thing that I think the difference will be, like I said, is he doesn't drop passes. And that's something that, we really need on this football team. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't need, everybody dropping passes left and right. He dropped a lot of passes. I don't care how great he is. He drops passes. He's always dropped passes his whole career. It's not like he did it for 1 year. He's always been a dropper, but he made so many big plays, you don't really care about the ones he dropped. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a strength for us. He loves run blocking. That's a strength for us. The year we won the Super Bowl was the year that AJ Big Ass was out there actually blocking, running down fields, blocking people, helping Saquon break these long runs. And when he stopped doing that, you've seen another reason why our offense, I remember some games where I seen Saquon get past the initial line. You know what I'm saying? But when it's over there, AJ like, nigga, I ain't got you. I ain't got you today. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get my pass today, so I ain't got you. And he gets tackled a nice run where something like that where, you go back 2 years and now you got AJ blocking down the field and maybe Saquon gets a touchdown on that. So it's going to convert. And I love, the mud. We got mud for being a blocking tight end. So now you can go do this. Let's talk about the second draft round pick, and Stowers. Because I think he's a beast. Like I said, he won the award for being the best tight end in leagues. In college football. So if you win that, that's over Sadiq, and we both wanted Sadiq. You know what I'm saying? That's over a lot of people. He's one of the most athletic tight ends out there. And he doesn't have to come in again. Both of these guys don't have to come in and be number one. You know what I'm saying? They can come in, learn from someone that's in front of them, and ball out. He got Dallas Goedert for a year, kind of like what we did with Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. So how do you feel about that pick?
It struck me off guard. I didn't see that one coming, to be honest. It's not that I don't like the player. The player's he's damn good. This is a good ball player, man, to be honest. He is one of 4 guys that I classified mostly as being what I would call a flex tight end, an F tight end. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a bunch of dudes that are in the middle. You have your traditional inline guys, and I think there's a group of 5 or 6 guys that are inline. Then you had this group of 4, in my opinion, that were more flex, and you got a huge-ass group of people that could be either, to be honest. In terms of the flex tight ends, I had them as Kenyon Sadiq. I had it as Matthew Hibner, and then I had Michael Trigg, and then outside of Trigg, then came Stowers. For me, those 4 are your natural flex tight ends. You can look at their utilization in college, see the way they were used, their percentage and how little they were played in line. And when you're dealing with that, you're going to get some variance, right? I think Hibner and I think Kenyon Sadiq in particular, even though they were played flex tight ends, they weren't scared to mix it up in the run game, to be honest. When you get to kind of what happens when you get to Stowers and you get to Trigg, a little bit more questionable. I probably would not love a situation to where I'm putting Stowers in line as a wide tight end in line, and I'm asking him to essentially drive. I need him to sustain and drive on a block. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get good results like that. He's not ready for that right now. He's straight up, he's a power slot is what he is. He could be a flex tight end or a straight up power slot for you. I bet you, and to be honest with you, I think this young man could go look at his RAS score and compare it to receivers. Mm-hmm. He ain't bad.
And if you look at his body type too, but I was just looking at the interview.
I think you could honestly put this kid in 12 personnel and you could align him on the boundary as a split end.
Yeah.
Come up there and press him.
Yeah.
At 230 some pounds, go ahead and press him as a corner. The way this guy jumps out of the roof, he jumps out of the ceiling.
Yeah.
He's got a decent release off the line of scrimmage. I definitely think that guy, man, there's versatility. Now, I won't cap when it comes to judging him from personnel utilization. It depends on where your mind's going with how you utilize the player. Obviously, if you're thinking you put him in line and he's going to block, you got a problem. It's not going to go well for you. But this is what I think he can do. Is if you're in 12 personnel, right? Are you really in 12 personnel? If Eli Stowers is out there? If it's Stowers, it's Goddard, right? It's Mekhi Lemon, and it's Devontae Smith. It is technically 12 personnel. But right. Is it? Because I'm pretty sure I could put this guy in the power slot on you. Please bring an extra safety in the box. Give me the hashes with him.
Yeah.
Because he's going to burn you down the hashes. I think that's what he does is he can kick a guy out of the box and run defense, not because he can block, because of the threat of him going down the seam on you.
Yeah.
That's got to be a pretty big nightmare for defensive coordinators when you're trying to figure out how the Eagles might utilize this guy.
He's at 11.5%.
personnel.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's just a weapon, man. Like, even like, you know, as much we wanted Sadiq, it's like I feel like this guy's still as much of a threat as the threat part of it, the offense that we wanted Sadiq to be. You know what I'm saying? He catches everything. He's very athletic. You know, he's gonna be a nightmare for linebackers, man. Like, you know, like you said, like we run some 5 receiver sets this year, my guy. You know, have him out there. You know, Goddard still be out there. You got Hollywood, Wig, Devontae, Lemon, no Saquon.
I love it. Even in 13 personnel, it's going to be confusing because they're going to put Goddard on one side. They're going to put Johnny Muttcakes on the other side. Yeah. And now you got Devontae and probably Stowers. Like, whew, come on, man. Is that 13 or is that 12? Like,
dangerous, man.
Yeah, like it's going to be like, I think from a matchup, you know what I mean? Like, how much is that role going to be utilized? How much is the percentage is going to play to be determined, right? But I do think that from a matchup perspective, if they're going in and they're watching tape on the team and they're seeing the way that they're coming in and defending the run, and they're like, oh, you want to do this? Okay, come in and try to play Saquon like this.
Right.
I think Stowers can protect you like that. I think that's what he can provide to you. And once again, we were talking about earlier, great against zone and can absolutely destroy you across the middle of the field. Like, it's another guy who can separate across the middle of the field. And like, you know, we were saying earlier when we talked about 12 personnel, you can literally play him on the boundary. Like, he can size protect you. That's what he can do. To where, you know, if you're worried about, and don't get me wrong, Wicks is plenty big enough to play as a boundary. An X-line split end. It's pretty much the role that he mostly played for Green Bay. He was a power slot and then a boundary X-line wide receiver. He could do both of those, man. Like, he's able to do those things. You could put him as a flex tight end and move him all across formation, motion him, things like that. Like, man, that little tight end screen game with him, another thing to keep in mind. Like, he's going to be
fake to Goddard and go the other way. Just Hey, he said he's bringing a play with him. You're bringing a play with him, but the Philly from where are you from?
And the fact that Jordan Matthews was his coach,
Jordan Matthews
coached him for a year there at Vanderbilt. Hey, man, that's look, you got, you know, Jordan Matthews, you know, his mom was one of the cousins of Jerry Rice. Like, Jordan Matthews, by the way, also a power slot.
That turned tight end.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got put like, and it's interesting, right? Like, Jordan Matthews tried that. Was, I think 49ers tried to, the Eagles and I think the 49ers tried to do that with him. Mm-hmm. It's interesting because, like, when you look at that, like, it's like, man, you know, if Matthews had been a little younger and it was a few years later, he might have translated like that. To be honest, he might have translated like that. He missed the mark by like probably 5, 6, 7 years. But
how big of an impact? I don't think no one really talking about this. We talk about the effect for Jalen Hurts, right, with these 2 draft picks, right? But how big of an impact do you really think this is for Devontae Smith? You know, in his first year to be that number 1 guy, to get these type of stats that we expect him to get this year. I really feel like this draft not only helped Jalen, but it definitely helped Devontae. Because you got to believe most people probably not going to try to double team him off the jump. He's going to have to earn that, which is deservedly so, which I already think he kind of has done since he's been in the league. But, you know, he's going to have to go out there and prove it. So that's going to be a lot of one-on-one, you know, and with those type of targets added to the targets they already have, it's no way you're going to even think about trying to go double team Devontae Smith. And I think that's going to really open it up for him to cook.
If teams are doubling Devontae Smith, I would start trying to find ways of incorporating guys like Hollywood Brown. I would start trying to incorporate, you know, Eli Stowers. I would try to incorporate Mekhi Lemon too. Mekhi Lemon, believe it or not, he had 24 targets above 20 yards.
Yeah,
he was like the fourth, fifth, you know, ranked guy in terms of like targets above draft eligible players at the position. Like, I think it's kind of an aspect of his game that people don't realize. Like, he went way more vertical than people think, but it's not about that. I'm trying to get speed out there because if you're going to double Devontae, then I'm going to put you in confrontation with speed.
Yeah,
like, I'm going to probably put Devontae. Then I'll put Devontae probably towards the boundary, let you be stupid and double him, and then I'm going to try to take my movement Z, which would probably be Hollywood, and I'm going to work you with Hollywood deep, and then I'm going to let Mekhi work the middle of the field on you. Like, I'm going to let
quad strip right, baby, quad strip right. Devontae, you just go over there. Let them double team you over there. I got 3 bona fide studs. I can run screen plays. I can run outs, hitches, everything you can think of in the playbook. Somebody's going vertical every single time. We're going to really stress out this defense.
A Y crosser. I run a Y cross on him. Give me a Y cross with Mekhi Lemon. Let me get a Y cross with him. Let me challenge you vertically. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to challenge you vertically here with Hollywood Brown. And then I'm gonna probably hit you with a deep sit down route. I want to see you react, and I want to see if I can get separation created outside on the boundary. That's where I'm going to use Devontae. I'm going to see if I can't get you guys to overcommit on that double team, and then just have an easy pitch and catch out there. Like that's what I'm going to do, because now I'm going to put you in a lot of. You're going to be in confrontation here. Like you're definitely going to be in confrontation because look, Hollywood Brown can still fly, man. That dude is still fast. He's super fast. Mekhi Lemon, if attention's going away from Mekhi Lemon and I'm giving him a Y cross, oh boy, he can work you on that. And then Devontae is really good at the top of a route stem. It's separating from you.
Yeah.
Like, that's where he can settle down. He can settle those hips to where you're still backpedaling. He settles his hips on you. And now he's turned around. He's uncreated like 2-3 yards of separation on you.
Facts.
That's where he can really, really, I think.
Separators. That's what we got on this football team, a bunch of separators.
It's difficult, man, because you have to look at how a team might use them and where the skill set is, because it's not I'm not going to sit here and tell anyone that any of these guys year one are anywhere near AJ Brown talent level, but you got to look at the collective. It's the collective effort we're going to do here, and on top of the collective effort, you got to look at the fact that we just improved the depth drastically. I mean, the depth.
Never have we had a receiving core like this.
Exactly. It's been a while. Yeah,
Never. I can't think of one.
I'm trying to run through one in my head right now. I'm trying to.
You know what I'm saying? Like this deep. And like you said, we don't got the alpha. We don't got that. We don't need it.
Yeah.
And we do got that because Smitty's going to be a big enough alpha that we ever could think about needing. You know what I'm saying? Like
the closest thing I can think of is like probably one of the later like D-Jax, Macklin, Ertz. They had what's his name for a while too? Jason Avant. That's the closest you're getting.
That's not even close. You got
I can't find a fourth receiver. When I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, well, who's the number 4 receiver? Like,
and you put a tight end in there. You just think, where's 3?
So it's like, I can't really find that 4th receiver in that grouping because that's what I'm like, man, like this one legit goes like 5 deep, to be real with you.
Yeah.
Like I honestly think that I can't say if I think Johnny Wilson's like it was a traumatic injury. There's a chance that it's done. I hope for his sake it's not done. But I mean, my man, I think tore multiple ligaments in his knee, and I think he broke his ankle, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Like that's rough to come back from.
Yeah.
And I hate it for him because I think Johnny Wilson, from what I was understanding and hearing coming out of camp, like this dude had a role. Like
role one was blocking for Saquon. He was the best receiver blocker player we had on the team. And we've seen that was huge on the boundary. And him not being here last year.
Cooper might be that guy. They like him, man. They like Cooper. They really like Cooper. Like they've gone out of their way to talk up Cooper. And it's like, why are we talking up an undrafted free agent that, yeah, I mean, he saw the field a little bit last year, but you could go quiet and nobody would be like, why the hell aren't you talking about Cooper?
Yeah, why are you talking about Cooper?
You know what I mean? Like the fact that we had a little bit of talk about him. Like,
I think that first preseason game, he had a little bit of spark. Everybody, like, oh wow, next AJ guy. But then when he didn't play, like people got really. We didn't even give Jahan Dotson the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We wasted 2 years of this man's life. You know what I'm saying? Like not even attempt to get him involved in nothing except for those games where we sat starters, and those games he had like 100 yards in. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. That's why I love Hollywood Brown as like the 4th. Hollywood Brown as the 4th receiver, he gives you. He's better. I mean, to be honest with you, Hollywood Brown is better than Jahan Dotson at this role, but it's the same role. He's going to give you this, essentially this Z, this flank that can be motioned, a movement flanker, a movement Z, who also can be a vertical slot on you. And I thought like that was what was missing from the team last year is that we just didn't have that Mekhi Lemon or that, Eli Stowers to go control the middle of the field. We were relying way too much on Dallas Goedert to do it for us, or we would have to like really work a lot of in-breaking routes to like AJ. And I think teams started to kind of catch on and sit on those routes a little bit. Now you start to see it a little bit. And it's like, oh, okay. Like now this makes a hell of a lot more sense because now I can absolutely catch you. I can catch you slipping. Like,
Yeah.
and if I catch you, you're going to pay for it because we got guys that can get vertical on you big time. Like,
Yeah, we gonna catch a lot of teams slipping a lot. Like, I'm excited. I'm so excited about it. Let's skip the third round. Let's go to the fourth where we picked up the tackle, right?
Guard, Micah. The fifth round was Micah Morris. The third round is the tackle. Third round is
From
Markel
Miami.
Bell. Yeah, Markel Bell.
Markel Bell.
I'm actually doing a tape breakdown on him right now, so that's fresh in my mind for you.
Let's go, baby.
I can give you exactly what I saw.
Go ahead, break it down for my guy.
All right. Love the player as a developmental player. 6'9", 350 pounds, probably being generous at 350 because I'm pretty sure that 346 was him cutting weight for the combine. This dude can be physical. He's got gifts, but you got to coach it up because I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing on the tape. And I'm going to encourage people to go watch the Senior Bowl. I'm going to break this down. It'll be on tape if you just want to wait for me to produce it, but you can go watch it ahead of time and you'll know exactly what I'm going to be talking about on the video. The rep that everyone's talking about, right, where Moore ate his ass up in the Senior Bowl. I'm going to explain to you exactly what happened and why Moore was able to basically manhandle a 350-pound freaking offensive tackle that's 6'9". When he kicked, when he did his kick slide, he kick slided into it with what we call a narrow base, guys. You're supposed to be shoulder width apart with your feet. He got not only here, he got here with one of his feet. Okay. So when he got that narrow base, he then started to lunge. I'm not an offensive tackle, guys. I'm a quarterback, but I'm going to tell you this, and I feel confident that my guys that are in our community that are former collegiate offensive defensive linemen will back me up here and explain this. If you're lunging and you're looking chest level at a defender, you're in the wrong. You're 1,000% in the wrong. That's why he got put on his ass, to be honest. The other thing that I saw on his tape, there was a couple of incidents out there where you see what we would call an overset. So on his kick slide, he gets too much depth outside on the kick slide. And as he oversets, he starts to widen too far with that kick. That kick slide causes him to widen too far, and he just gives up an easy angle inside. That's where you see him giving up a lot of pressure inside, right? Where people are getting those inside kind of like pass rush moves on him. He's oversetting quite a bit on tape. The lunging, the oversetting, and then also like the narrow base stuff kind of, it does appear on his film a little bit. And he's already going to have some issues at being 6'9". That's really tall. So you're already going to have to really stay in your frame. If Stoutland was here, I feel 100% this dude's going to translate. He's going to be damn good in like 2 years. But Stoutland's not here. I have a lot of respect for Chris Cooper, I believe is how he pronounces his name. Cooper? Is it Cooper? Yeah, I know he's got it spelled weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like K-U-P-E-R.
I know he's a former professional football player. He played guard in the league. He played in the Shanahan system, and he's played for a lot of West Coast guys. This dude has connections back to Nick Sirianni. He's got connections back to Sean Mannion. He's got connections back to Vic Fangio. And apparently Fangio is the person that recommended him for hire. A lot of respect for him. I have no doubt that he can translate from a schematic standpoint, getting scheme done and teaching these guys scheme. I don't know what he is in terms of a developer. Those are different skill sets. And I think that's one of those.
He had like 3 Pro Bowlers, right? I know the one with my Minnesota, he had a Pro Bowler. Then he got hurt the next year or whatever. And then people got to realize too, like we might not be getting the same type players we used to get type thing.
Yeah.
You know, then when you're changing up the offense, you got to kind of change up everything. The players, the type of players you get. Do you think he has a chance? Maybe they're going to keep him exclusively. I know Howie said we're going to keep him there first. Learning the tackle spot. But do you think he could be like a Mekhi Becton or like a Jergy his first year and go slide him into guard next to, Lane Johnson, and then after Lane leaves, kick him back out to tackle?
You could. It's hard, 6'9", but Becton was 6'8".
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Splitting hairs, at that height. But I think it's going to depend upon his ability to sustain and drive. There's some things on film for a big dude where he's not quite getting into those drive blocks. And I mean, you need to disrupt. You need to be a disruptor. That's where I think where you watch Michael Morris's film from Georgia, you see more of that disruptor, right? That guy who can disrupt the line of scrimmage on you, can sustain and drive. He can get into that drive block technique and absolutely move. You see that wave happen. He's got to get better at that. Physicality, the physical nature of everything, like sure. And I do think that there's a possibility that he gets right tackled and right guard, if you will. Like that's where they start to work him in. I could see that being a possibility because I already see that some of the initial depth charts they're releasing out already seems to have Cameron Williams moving over to left. And he was playing right last year when he got into that's an interesting one. That's a very interesting one because I really like Cameron Williams a lot too, to be honest. He's got some work to do. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat what I saw on tape. The tape is like, okay, this is a developmental guy with a lot of upside. I mean, it's come on, man. There's not a lot of dudes floating around there with 80, what's it like 84? The dude's got a crazy wingspan. It's like an insane wingspan. And then on top of having he's got an 87-inch wingspan. I'm looking at it in front of me right now. Dude has a damn 87-inch wingspan. That's insane.
That's insane.
Right? 36 and 3/8 inch arm reach. Like he's definitely a stout. What we saw from Stout, he's that type of tackle. A little taller than what we're, Of course, you got Mulata. Mulata's not that much smaller than him. Becton was that much smaller than him. But you get what I'm saying. Normally, you're looking 6'5", 6'6"-ish, somewhere in that area.
And even Brooks are big too.
Yeah, exactly. But and that's you look at this guy and it's like, okay, the physical tools are there. Technique wise, they're yeah. It's got to be improved upon there. The problem is, it's like you're looking at this class and they got to bring in people, man. They have got to have developmental guys. They've got to have some depth behind these starters. And I can't fault them, because you've got to go find and identify people. And it's the class is the class.
That's supposed to ask you too. You think about the tackles we got last year. You think about Keegan we got the year before, and a couple of those guys. The center from the Rams. Do you think now
Lampkin
with this draft, we had the guy from Georgia too. Our line is deeper than it was last year. So, do you think we have the players that could step in? Because last year, Toth was a hit and miss. Some games he was all right. Some games he kind of sucked, going back and forth. When you got three starters out like that, our offense definitely didn't look the same anymore. Do we have the caliber type players, or like you said, do we still need to go try to trade or, second wave of free agency to try to pick up another veteran to add to the mix?
I think that it depends on how you view certain guys in terms of number one, their health on our starters, but number two, depth pieces, because there's a lot of projection that's going to happen this year. The one certainty is they went and got Fred Johnson. So they got their swing tackle. That's a veteran guy, which I didn't love that because not that I don't love it. I love the guy. I love the player, but I was like, damn, man, I don't know what that means for Cameron Williams, because you didn't show faith in him to be the swing tackle. Now, to be fair, you could just say no, that's not what's going on, Steve. They're just literally, they're signing him for the break in case of emergency, and this shit's going to play out in camp. And that could be potentially possible. But, you got Fred Johnson at least. Past Fred Johnson, I would think the next guy that you're looking at is Drew Kendall. Drew Kendall's going to be a center that could maybe play guard. A little undersized, but that could happen. You look at that guy and he's there. I'm trying to look through the rest. Obviously you got I don't think you have as many veteran options this time around. I think that's the difference from what we're seeing from previous years and mind you, free agency is not done yet.
Yeah.
That could just honestly be the answer there, is that they haven't completely addressed what they're going to do here yet because of free agency.
But even Hinton got on the field a little bit. Isn't that his name, Hinton? And then the other tackle too.
He got injured. Yeah. Cameron Williams is probably one of the guys you could kind of say he showed a little bit last year that, he's what I was saying. I was a little, because it's man, they didn't really show faith in him being swing, but I also think they could just be we're not going to give him the job. Young man, you're going to have to go out compete a guy that's got,
Go earn it.
Yeah. Then I think you have to look to Micah Morris as an interior offensive lineman. I don't know what other guy I'm looking at on this list that's a bona fide interior offensive lineman that could be, counted upon, to be honest with you. There's just not, when you look at the list, there's not a lot of guys here. It's a lot of projection. And I'm pretty sure, when you look at the free agency market, in terms of the undrafted free agency market, you're probably going to see some guys that get added there. We know the Eagles have never been hesitant to add a UDFA and actually have that guy make your 53-man roster. So I mean, you're probably looking at some moves like that where they could go get another veteran. I think they could probably use a veteran in terms of the what I would call the interior offensive line, because I just don't. I'm looking through the list, man. I just don't see anybody that I'm, you know what I mean, like
Moves the needle.
You know what I'm saying? There's no like known like lock kind of guy. Like it's all projection. So they'll have, they're going to have to come up and figure out how they're going to shape that part of it, to be honest with you. But I think Morris is going to play a role. I wouldn't be shocked if Markel Bell doesn't get cross-trained, right guard, right tackle. Morris, I think, primarily played on the left side, but I'm pretty sure he could play either side if you needed him to.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, they definitely, like, that's an interesting question in terms of the depth. Like, have they done enough at the depth spot? Like, interior O-line does make me a little nervous, but I mean,
we hope that all five stay healthy. That's what we want. We want that to happen.
Exactly.
We definitely don't want to see what we had happen last year, 2 years in a row.
Exactly. And then you got to talk about like a guy like Willie Lampkin. Like, how do they even, if he makes the roster, then like, how do they plan on using him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's part of it too. Like, how are you going to use this guy? Like, you're not going to probably put him in line as an interior offensive lineman. He's probably going to have some kind of a jumbo package.
Keegan? Keegan been here. We haven't really heard his name at all. You think?
Didn't Keegan get picked? Didn't he get claimed?
Did he?
Yeah, I think he got claimed. I want to say one of our division rivals claimed him. That tends to happen to us to where
a lot. It didn't end up being good.
Our linemen, D line, and O line, they get claimed when we try to sneak them through.
And what about the rest of these guys here? You know what I'm saying? Run off the rest of these guys.
Oh, Micah Morris and these guys. Love Micah Morris's tape, man. Line disruptor. Straight line disruptor. Micah Morris is one of these guys where you watch the tape, man, he is drive blocking the hell out of people. He's moving people. That's a line disruptor. He's going to be really good in the run game, I think. I would not be shocked as a 5th round pick. He might see the field a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I wouldn't be shocked by the end of 27 season. Like, if you don't start looking at him going like, shit, is he going to, like, he might actually be like legit a guy that we're going to plug and play. Like, he could potentially be a replacement. He could be a guy if Landon Dickerson doesn't have it. If he's still it's not there physically for him because of the injuries.
Yeah.
I really love that kid's tape, man. He's really good. I'll be honest with you. I didn't love the Cole Payton pick.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I don't love it. I love the athlete. I don't love it because it's like, if you cut the guy, are you sure you can get him through to the practice squad?
Right.
Quarterbacks tend to get claimed. And then on top of that, I love his ability to be versatile. Remember when we first drafted Jalen Hurts and they did all that talk about Tyson Hill and him being able to play tight end and being able to be in run packages. I love that aspect of maybe using him to keep Jalen Hurts in as healthy a status as we can. Where he can come in and he can run tush push because he's not a small dude. He can come in and he can do, some of the stuff we might do on the goal line where he can run some of those kind of packages. The only problem I have with that is if you do it too much, teams aren't stupid. They're going to know that there's a very unlikely chance this dude's going to throw the ball.
They know when Tyson comes to the game for the Saints. They know he's either going to be probably going to run the ball.
Exactly.
Down and he's going to throw the ball. So it's like it's the same thing.
It's not really wildcat because he's going to be classified as a quarterback, but it's kind of like a wildcat type if you're in goal line situations with him. I don't know if they would be crazy enough to do some 2 quarterback set stuff like they were talking about doing back in the day with Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. That would be interesting as hell. But I don't
ball style, one height, those the other one.
It's like I don't want Jalen Hurts anywhere near harm's way.
Right.
That's my problem. Is like Jalen's definitely a strong dude, but like I don't really want my quarterback floating around where someone could get a free shot on him. You know what I mean? Like I don't love that per se, but I wouldn't be shocked if maybe a couple of plays. You get maybe a handful of things where you see something like that. I mean, he's a gadget player is the way I look at him in this offense if he makes the team. You're completely using him as a gadget player and hoping you can develop him over the course of like 3 or 4 years. He's a lefty. The problem with left-handed quarterbacks, man, I know that they exist a lot more on the high school level and stuff like that than they do at collegiate and the pro level. Man, the ball tends to dive on left-handers. I couldn't tell you why it happens because I'm not left-handed, unfortunately.
It's
but
a different spin for the quarterback too. It's a different spin for the receivers.
The ball nose dives. And then you're, depending on how you're formationally, things that are going on, like a lot of times you're basically your power, the side you're throwing with towards power is now field side, which means the distance is increased where, quarterback that's right-handed, at least, you get what I'm saying? Like, at least their hand is set to that spacing area.
Yeah.
Like that, to me, like, it's subtle things like that. You have to kind of watch out when it's a left-handed quarterback. He's unique, man. It's another one we talked about being unique. Gadget player, purely developmental guy that I can't say is or isn't going to translate. Who knows, man? Quarterbacks are really tough to really like predict things on like that. But I mean, they seemed pretty clear to me that they were going to probably somewhere in day 3 pull a quarterback out.
They always do.
It's interesting who they picked. I'll tell you who he reminds me of a little bit, but he's probably not as refined even as this player was coming out of college. But if you go back and you think to like Liberty University and you think about how they were playing their offense not that long ago, I mean, we're talking, 6-7 years ago, maybe, when they had Malik Willis, who then went, got drafted by Tennessee, but then ended up in Green Bay playing with Mannion, playing with LaFleur. Mannion was credited with doing a lot of stuff with him. It is interesting to me that if you pay attention, like they basically went out there and got themselves kind of a Malik Willis. He just doesn't have the arm Malik Willis does. Malik Willis was, that dude's got a phenomenal arm. He's a phenomenal arm talent. But a lot of the things that we're talking about in terms of the recognition, in terms of picking up on when to deliver the ball, aligning your footwork to the receivers, like actual like route stems, things like that. Malik Willis had to work on those things. And they did a hell of a job with him in Green Bay. You got Jalen, you got this young man, this Cole Payton. It's a unique, you know what I'm saying? It's unique. Like they didn't go the direction I thought they might go, like in terms of the quarterback and who they might target on day 3. And I don't know what that means yet, to be honest with you, Birdgang. I have no idea what the hell that means yet. But
I've always thought they try to go more of the, Sudfield style, big prototypical type guys, and keep kind of using. Because think about it, you keep drafting those guys. They play a couple preseason games. I heard the NFL thinking about adding another game and making it so like starters get 2 buys or something like that, where players only get to play 15 or 16 out of the 18 games. So you're gonna all back the players backups in. So I don't know why I called him Stuffield. McKee. I don't know why I called him Stuffield. We had him back in the day, but McKee, style, quarterbacks out there. So like even this year, you're already starting to hear now that we got Dalton that McKee should get traded for some draft capital next year probably, or be put into a trade package or something. You're hearing that he might be leaving for sure, and the Andy Dalton thing kind of like nailed it in the coffin, just kind of like the lemon did for AJ. The Andy Dalton pick was kind of like, okay, he's leaving, McKee's leaving, he's gonna go try to do something somewhere. And there's still a couple of teams out there where for the right trade package, they can get themselves a starting quarterback. I do believe McKee's good enough to start somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Just
So do I. Yeah, I think he's definitely showed the ability to do it. I just hope for his sake he's not sent somewhere where there's a lack of offensive line. I don't think he's the type of guy that's going to thrive if you can't block it up for him. Now, I think McKee's smart and he's going to get the ball out of his hands fast. But I just don't think that's. I don't think that's super effective. If you can't block it up, man, I just you need an athlete. If you can't block, you better have an athlete back there. You better have somebody that can maybe go off schedule. And pull a miracle out of their ass for you, basically.
Run some zones, some rollouts all the time.
Yeah.
What about the safety from Texas Tech?
Cole Wisniewski. Interesting guy. A bigger player for the position. Like not normally what we see in Vic Fangio's schemes, right? He's a little heavier than what I would have thought that they would look for. Interesting dude though, right? I mean, 6'3", 220-ish. Dude is, if you're talking about like 7-man run fits, like 7-man spacing inside of a run fit to basically where you're going to be what they call out-gapped. So you're out-gapped and you're -1 in the run game, right? So you got a safety who has to have a secondary responsibility essentially to the run game. And that individual is now responsible to essentially like fill any gap that's missing, right? That's what, we're out-gapped. He's got to do it. I think this guy could do it. Like his film is, I'm like, oh shit. Like if this dude learns how to like sink his hips correctly, backpedal correctly, and and show some more ability in man coverage, like might have got themselves a player out there.
A player down the road though, right?
Anytime you're dealing with day 3 picks though, it's a little bit of like buyer beware. Like, we're talking about potential. I wouldn't go out there and start making crazy large bets on that.
Him and Makuba together.
You know what I mean? But I will say that, like, there were things on film where I was like, okay, like it's a little disturbing that if you go look over his highlights, and one thing you'll notice missing, you don't see a lot of man coverage snaps on those highlight films. Sometimes what's not on those films should give you a little bit of an indicator, right?
Yeah.
So what you will see a shit ton of is him coming downhill as being an impact enforcer around the line of scrimmage. And, this is a guy that, decent special teams player too. This is a pretty damn good special teams player. He's a good coverage guy, good punt and kick return coverage guy. I think there's a really good chance he could stick to the roster as kind of like that fourth safety, that kind of area. I think between him and Andre Sam, it's going to be kind of interesting because I like both players a little bit. I got the feeling, I'm curious what they're going to do here because you signed 2 veteran guys at the safety spot. All right. Well, you traded for one last year to be technical. We're going to get to Michael Carter, but the other guy you signed and you brought him back again. Right.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at Marcus Epps, my question is whoever loses out in camp there, are they keeping both guys? You could technically, take Carter and say, like, well, if Carter loses out at safety, he's the backup nickel. Because he's been this guy's been like.
Let's see here. Who do they have safety? Makuba, TJ Gray. Is this updated? Yeah, Michael Carter for nickelback still. And then it has, who's the other safety? Oh, yeah, the rookie and Epps.
Yep, rookie Epps, and then they got Andre Sam is the other one. They brought in like 3 UDFAs. But we don't know. I got to watch more tape on those guys before I feel confident in projecting any of these guys. I got to see their game. I got to see their thing. It's difficult, guys. I'm coming off of dealing with the draft, which you're talking. I watch tape on over like 100 different guys. Like it's difficult to like transition in. Like obviously if they're UDFAs, they probably didn't cross my path. I'll say like safety is going to be an interesting thing. The one thing I keep trying to point out to people, and I got into like a whole Twitter spat, which was hilarious to me because people just completely misunderstood my tweet. If you go back to 2024, look at Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean, he did not play in base personnel. He sat for 4 games, so we got to take that into consideration. He didn't completely sit every snap in those 4 games, but he sat. He wasn't a starter in those first 4 games. Then they went to the bye. They came out of the bye, and he was plugged in as the starter. But when they had – this was my concern, is like when they had a guy like Slay and Q, and they had CJ, GJ, and they had Blank, he didn't play in base. People are saying, well, it's not that many snaps. Bullshit, it's 20-some%. That's 1 in 5 snaps. That's it's not nickel, but that's significant.
Yeah.
Like, that's a significant amount of snaps for a guy not to be out there on the field. And I don't think that's the intent. The intent, I think, has to be a few different ways. I would say there's 3 probably options here. Number 1, you do what you did last year, right? You're pulling, I guess, Woolen off the field in base, and you're putting Coop out there. I think that's a bad look, though. I think it's a terrible look for the contract because basically what we would be doing if we did that is that we let a guy walk on a barely above vet minimum contract. I would just call it a vet minimum contract, even though that's not factually correct. It was like $2 million. It's damn near a vet minimum contract. Who came in, played your sub package outside at corner, and then came off the field in base. And then they were putting Cooper DeJean out there. Okay. If you sign Reek Woolen to do that same exact damn thing, you sign that guy for $12 million AAV to do it. To me, that is terrible value.
I think he stays on the field, though.
So
I think it's him and Q.
So do I, Birdgang. That's what I'm trying to get people to see.
But then maybe that is the answer to our safety question anyway.
That's
majority of the time you're going to be in the nickel. You're going to have Coop and a safety back there with Makuba.
Yeah. I think in base, when they're at base, when they're playing that 52, 34, things like that, right? When you're in base, I think that's where you're going to see essentially Coop get slid back there into the safety spot. Now, the question is going to be, are they comfortable with what's behind Coop when they're in sub packages like nickel, dime, when they're doing those type of things? Are they comfortable with, with Michael Carter? Are they comfortable with Epps? I think they feel somewhat confident, but I don't know that they're like going into this not. I would take a wild guess they're still in contact with players' agents saying,
Yeah.
this is how we vision it. We're going to give these guys an opportunity. If they show us they can't do it, then we might go get a guy. But I think that puts them in a really weird situation because a lot of people want them to go get a Grant Delpit.
Mm-hmm.
If you go get a Grant Delpit, then who the hell's coming off the field when you go base? Some people, this is the third argument, right? We talked about Woolen. We talked about then obviously like Delpit or the other safety would be off the field or Michael Carter, whoever, and you're going to play him back there. The third option is that depending on the player, you know, how big this player is, the name, how good the player is, if you will, to an extent. Maybe you pull Makuba and base off the field, and then you put the player you brought in, and then you have, you know, Coop playing back there with that other player, whether it's Grant Delpit, insert name, guys. I think that if they go with a guy later in stages in their career, if they agree to it, they got to agree to it. But you might be able to convince Justin Simmons. You might be able to convince, you know, an older player like that, someone that's in their 30s. I don't know if Jesse Bates would agree to it, but maybe he would. Yeah. Where you go like, look, man, you're going to start and you're going to play the majority of snaps for us at safety, but in base, you're coming off the field. Or it's going to be a mixture. It's going to be a mixture from maybe sometimes we play Coop outside. Sometimes we play Coop in your spot, and sometimes we play Coop in Makuba's spot. Like there's going to be a mixture. Like I think they have to answer that question if people want to project it. That's why when people kept asking me about like safeties in the draft, and I was like, I don't think it's going to happen. Like I think it's like if Caleb Downs falls into your lap, like you're taking that pick. Like we'll figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Like we'll figure this shit out, bro. Like it's Caleb Downs. We're taking that pick. Like that dude is legitimately can be argued as the best player in the draft. He's either the best or he's the second best player in the draft, depending on how you feel about Love at the running back spot there. Like to me, I had him graded as my best player in the damn draft. Like to me, that is a more athletic version of Jenkins, Malcolm Jenkins to me.
Yeah.
Dude who can play around the line of scrimmage. He can play over top of the slot. He can play deep for you. Like, I mean,
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, dude, I mean, if that guy came crashing down the board, man, I'd trade my damn socks to go get him.
That was never going to happen.
Dude.
That was never going to happen, man. I didn't even think about Downs because I knew he's a beast, but he was definitely not fighting anywhere for us, guy.
If a player like that came crashing down the board, I could see the Eagles being like, damn it, bro. I mean, you only get so many picks at these elite blue chip guys, and that's one of them. We'll figure the shit out on the field. Like we'll figure that out, man.
That's when you go to him. What do you want to play, Mr. Downs?
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, the bottom line is
play all game. You want to play
1 year technically with Woolen. So I mean, the solution could be like, hey, man, year 2, Coop going outside, and we got our safeties. Like figure it out, right? And that's the thing is like I think the Eagles have to answer themselves not only in the moment of 2026. What the hell are they doing long term? Because it is difficult because people are like, yo, Gabe, would they really move Coop out of nickel though? Because like he's an all-pro player there. And it's like, dude, you have a point. That's a damn good point. I'm not going to sit there and say it's not a damn good point. And I will say the nickel is super damn important to Vic's scheme. But when I talk about Cooper DeJean, I hold him in such high regard that I don't know if he's an all-pro player out at corner. Probably a Pro Bowler. Probably a Pro Bowl level player at
covers good receivers one-on-one. Yeah. But my deal is like
safety. I still think that dude could be an all-pro player.
You know,
so it's it's about like how do you? Is it easier to replace it at safety, nickel, or outside corner? I think they have to think that in terms of the future assets and how you want to do this.
Brandon Boykins always scares me. Remember, he was a Pro Bowler at the nickel, but then when he got his contract, went outside.
Then he went to the Steelers or something, didn't he?
Yeah, went outside. He wasn't as good anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like. And it's like, do you want to, like, you look at it like Banjo, I think when he was asked that question, like, do you want to lose an all-pro nickel just for a good outside? Or do you want to try to find a good outside and keep your 2 all-pro corner?
And that's the thing is like, when you negotiate, and that's like when I was trying to bring up in the tweet is like, man, they're going to pay Coop. And they're going to pay him 25 to 30 million AAV. It's going to be in that area. It's what he's going to probably end up cashing out. Look, if I'm wrong, I'll come on here and I'll eat crow for a whole hour with you guys. I think that dude's getting paid 25, 30 million AAV.
Do you think he gets top cornerback money, or do you think he's going to get, like, they're going to make him the highest paid nickel? That's something, you know, the Eagles like doing that to you.
Values from like top 5 stuff. I think if I got to look and see where safeties are compared to corners in terms of the top 3 and how they're evaluating it from an AAV standpoint. And then you kind of look at it like, okay, like you have to look at it from Coop's agent's perspective and how they're going to try to play this. And I don't think it's an easy negotiation because of the complexity of it. I just think that Howie's going to look at it and go, I'm not losing this dude. Like, there's no way in hell. Like the minute we inserted this guy into the lineup, did you see what our defense did in 24? Like, you know what I mean? Like this dude with Q is like, that's the centerpieces of the defense in the secondary going forward. They got to figure that part of it out. I don't know that I 1,000% have the answer there, but I do know that for 25, 30 AAV, you're not going to get what happened in 24 with Coop. I would be shocked if Coop isn't in on base packages. And that's the tweet. They saw the 30% part and he disconnected that from the rest of the tweet, not understanding what I was saying.
Yeah.
That like, you're not going to pay a guy 25, 30 million AAV to sit him for 30% of the snaps like you did in 24. You're going to do what you did in 25, but is the opening at corner with Woolen or is it at safety with like that open strong side safeties? I know they don't really, Vic doesn't call him strong. He doesn't call him,
Yeah.
Basically like that. He would probably call it as more the field safety, but I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where they're going to go there. My guy, Jay on Twitter, man, he's one of the guys I talk to a lot on Twitter. He's very smart, former college player. He had a damn good point, bro. And it made me hesitate a second with Woolen. I'm not going to lie. He's like, yo, Steve, I'm not saying that this is going to happen in Philly because we got to understand there was probably a negotiation between Woolen, his agent, and Howie and the role here. There's probably some assurances given here. And I don't know if it was put in contract, but I'm sure they gave him assurances to get him here. He didn't play in base in Seattle last year.
At corner?
Yeah, he didn't play in base. They pulled him in base. So I'm like,
oh, yeah, they had Joe.
Yeah. So I'm like, damn, I don't know, man. Like, that's interesting because
the whole year?
I don't know if it was the whole year, but he certainly got pulled. I don't know. I don't know the full span. I got to go look up. Like, when it comes to the Eagles, I actually have charts that break down exactly how much we played different things, how much each guy played in those snaps. I don't have that for Seattle's. But he was pointing it out, and I started to go look back at some of their games. I was like, oh, shit, they are pulling him out in base. He's not lying about that. But I'm like, but you don't pay a guy $12 million to come out in base. This doesn't make sense contractually.
Yeah.
Like, that's a $5 million or below player. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that's not a damn $12 million AAV player.
He needs to stay on the field the whole game.
Exactly. At that price, exactly. Like, I mean, like, that would be a terrible value if you paid him $12 million to basically fulfill the same exact role that you got for $2 million from a Dory Jackson. To me, that's just terrible value.
Facts.
I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I'm just saying, trying to read the tea leaves. They didn't draft a safety until the 7th round.
Yeah.
Okay. They made no qualifying offer or even an attempt at negotiation with blank.
Yeah.
Right. And Howie said some shit about safety. He also said, we like what's in our room more than others. You know what I mean? Like
you guys,
you
got Coop, you got Makuba, you know.
Yeah, I think that they're
star. Like
maybe
it's like the riches of spoils. Like we can't have superstars at every position. You know what I'm saying? Like there's got to be a position. That's what Blank was for us for a while. He just turned out to be a really good player for us. You know, he was a guy that he wasn't a superstar. We're gonna put him in there. You're a good football player. You work hard. You know, you put your nose out there. You try to make plays when you can, and that's maybe how we can draft Makuba. Makuba, you know, if all trajectories are right, he stays healthy. That's a damn good safety. You know what I'm saying? You look at that Charlie Varner Jr. type safety out there, and then you got Coop going back there with him and Mays. You know, that should be good enough to win you some football games. You know, with the front seven that we have and whatnot. So I think that's a good little move there. What about this last guy? Wait, let's get these two guys out of here too.
We're gonna Uar Bernard, bro.
No, we go to the other guy first. I didn't even know nothing about him.
All right. Keyshawn.
Yeah.
Keyshawn James newbie. Another actually intriguing player, man. Underweight. It's like 239, 240. Got that Vic Fangio though style for an edge, to be honest. You know, he's longer in the frame, 33 inch plus in the arm reach. Very twitchy on film. Damn good success rate and pass win rate. Interesting dude in the 7th. I would say that they took a gamble last year with the Antoine Roland. I can't remember his full name. You know what I'm talking about, the Virginia young man. And I actually really like that pick a lot too.
Yeah, he was like he led the league college football in sacks, didn't he?
Yeah. And I actually really loved that pick when they made it last year. But I don't think that he has the same explosiveness that I see on tape from James Newby. I think Keyshawn James Newby has way more explosiveness on the tape. Like, I can never say a 7th round pick, and the dude was 252nd pick in the damn draft. Like, I can't ever say that, like the dude's like, more.
He's about to push Jalen
10 sacks, bro. Year 3, 10 sacks. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know, but I liked it. Like, I see what the scouts were looking at.
Yeah.
Right. Super twitchy.
Potential.
I don't know if he's like a 3-down, defensive end, edge player, outside linebacker, on ball type. I don't know if that's going to be his course in the NFL. He might just be kind of a specialist as things go on. But if you're getting a specialist in the 7th round and you can control the contract for 4 years and he's damn good at it, whew, that's not bad, man. That's not bad. Ayo, Dank, thank you, sir. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, Riley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any of this is going towards Fangio's? Fangio might be his last year this year.
Yeah,
we don't know the DC. I would love it to be hers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want him to be the DC. Do you think it's kind of getting players set up that maybe they know it's hers, but we're going to be running something different? Because we run like it said 3-4, but let's be real. It's 5-2 majority of the time. You know what I'm saying? You're running a 5-2 out there. Claiming it as 3-4 or move 3-4, whatever.
We run the 52 like 16% of snaps. We run like the 34 like 4-5%.
Yeah.
It's something like I actually have it. Hang on, let me I can tell you the exact percentages.
It's getting the players ready, for conversion over to a different type of scheme, but still having a talent. Because what happened if we go back to a more traditional 4-3? You got, I think a prove a year for Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. You know what I'm saying? That's why they both got their 5th-year options picked up. Let's see, are you guys going to break out and blossom into what we want you to be? Like, exactly. Carter's a beast, but like I'm telling everybody, and they've been giving me shit about, he has not been the most dominant player in football. No year. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not that guy yet. Injuries last year caused him not to have that great of a season, but he came out and admitted it, and I give him credit for that. But if you really look at it, where's not even say sacks or everything, but you're not getting double-digit sacks. You get some pressures, you're making good plays in right moments. But in terms of, they crowned him the next Aaron Donald. They crowned him going to be the next best football player ever. And I really don't feel like he's even reached that yet.
Yep. Well, I'll say this: I'm looking at the numbers right now in front of me. They played base 5-2-4, 52 front, 16.8%. So basically 17% of the snaps. Mm-hmm. Then they played a speed base, which is basically a form of the 52. It's just you're bringing an extra edge instead of an extra tackle. So you're 3 edges, 2 tackles instead of vice versa. They played that an extra 1% of snaps, 1.1%. So it's basically 18% of your snaps, right? Mm-hmm. Then they played 3.9, so basically 4% of your snaps from a 43 or a 34. So one or the other, basically, when it would come in and kind of play that situation. So like you can see where they prefer it in terms of a base formation and how they play things. I'm curious at how they treat the coordinator position post Vic. They did think about talking to Schwartz when they weren't sure about Vic. They did think about talking to Jonathan Gannon. I think their asses need to talk to Clint Hurts. That's the guy that, what I'm saying? Like, the guy the players love. I think the front office likes him a lot too. And I think Nick, he's been around Nick for years now. Like, now it's going on his 3rd year with Nick. Like, why start looking? I get that Gannon and Nick have worked together before too. Schwartz is not the right person, in my opinion, man. I think that's Schwartz is a hell of a defensive coordinator. He is.
We do not need to go back to the wide 9.
Personality-wise, that's a good mix with Nick. I'm
not going back to the wide.
Bro, that is gasoline on fire.
Yeah.
Like with Nick and Schwartz together, like they're gonna be throwing hands in the locker room, bro. I don't think that's a good fit.
Who do you think you are, you goofball?
Exactly. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem because I don't think either one of those guys would back down. Like, I don't. But
But
I
even
do think
speaking of
that.
Hurt, we got a guy that loves him already that we picked up, and let's talk about this Nigerian beast. You know what I'm saying, Bernard. And what I wanted everybody to really look at, you heard the guy talk about him in the beginning, but it's really like real, man. Like this guy is huge. He's
Limited
huge. And
chance,
what
man.
did that one that had him sign up? Had him next to Miles Garrett. in terms
21
of-
years old, by the way, Bird. 21.
Look at this.
21-year-old, man.
6'4", 5'8". Garrett 6'4.5", 306 pounds. That's like almost 30 pounds more, a little over 30 pounds more than Miles Garrett, but runs a tenth of a second slower. Broad jumps farther, and his reach is 2 inches shorter. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying we got the next Miles Garrett. I'm not gonna go there, but the guy has 6% body fat, and if he learns. If Hurst, who's done good with Jordan Davis, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
who's done good with the defensive tackles, can really mold this guy. This guy could be a super the biggest steal in the history of football.
You heard of the Greek Adonis? This is the African Adonis, bro.
Right?
Like, dude, like this dude is 300 pounds and he's sub 10% body fat.
I don't even think I've
That's
seen a
insane.
person like that in real life.
Like, how the hell is that even physically possible, bro? Like, that is elite genetics. Like, there's just no way around that conversation. And I was talking about it on the video I made about him, and I was saying, like, I know that I'm selling him like he's the average Joe. He's not the fucking average Joe. Like, I wish that I could wake up tomorrow and be 6'4", 300 damn pounds with sub 10% body fat, running a 4.6 40. Like, whew, my Lord, man. Like, this is insane. That man is absolutely insane in terms of
Do you think we just leave him at DT and let him be that guy? Because basically the question would be, what is probably harder for a player to learn, defensive tackle or defensive end? Because you got to play one of those two for sure. So which one you think will be harder? You think they're saying defensive tackle because that's the easiest for you? All you got to do is penetrate. Use your muscle, use your size, athleticism. See ball, get ball.
The pass rush skill set is easier to learn from defensive tackle, but there is technique there. Some of the technique could be a little bit difficult to understand, but the pass rush aspect of it, like, I think it's definitely a little easier to learn than edge. But I think you have to be honest though when you get him on the field, like, where does the movement line up? The movement ability. I don't know if we've ever seen a guy that's damn near 300. What's he? Between 305 and 310. And he's moving like that. Like,
I've never seen a guy.
J.J. Watt was a big boy. He was a big boy. But he didn't move like this.
Miles Garrett is the best defensive player, one of the biggest defensive player in the history of football. That's what he gets his paychecks off of, being that big, that physical, that athletic. And this guy's bigger. Doing the same thing. Like, if you teach us, go get ball, baby. Go get ball.
And he's being paired with Clint Hurt, which is the best part. Like, you're basically getting paired with the Jeff Stoutland of the defense. That's what's being paired. This is the Jordan Mailata moment for the defense. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work out like Jordan Mailata, but it's that moment where we went and got stout Jordan Mailata. We just went and got Clint Hurt or Bernard.
Yeah.
That's what just happened. Like, and I don't know, like, man, looking at this dude, like, I so want to see camp footage. I want to see those one-on-ones, man. He's going to get his ass kicked a couple times because he's got to learn. But bro, when the light starts coming on, when that light starts to come on, when that switch flips, good Lord, that's going to be a nightmare to try to match up with.
Yeah, I think he's going to get his ass kicked a lot in the beginning. But
bro, for the love of God, don't put him over Steen, man. I don't need to deal with that for the entire damn season.
But what would you think?
You see Bernard kick his ass. Like, it'd be bad.
So which would you think would be harder? You know how it took Jordan, 2-3 years to get there, right? To give him 3 years to actually become a starter. Do you think defensive tackle will be easier for him to get some play time?
Ooh, they used an interesting trick here. He's an international pathway player. You can designate him on your roster as that.
Mm-hmm.
Which means you can hold his rights. You can keep him away from people. He ain't got to count against your 53.
Yeah.
And you can develop him. I believe this is the first time they draft. I know from Africa at least, but it might be the first IPP player, period, drafted.
Yeah.
It's possible. Like, Howie just did something that is probably going to be copied. Like, I think he just started something. Like, I think everyone's going to be like, that son of a bitch. Like, that's what they're going to do. They're going to be like, yo, I cannot believe why didn't we think of this before? That's what they're going to be saying. Like, it's going to be interesting, man. Like, ooh, man, like the way that he's like just the physical gifts, man. Like, I don't know if he can play ball because I don't have any film to break down.
Yeah.
Nothing.
We have nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
At least you like looking at my ladder run rugby. You didn't even got that for this guy. Like,
I know that you, as a coach,
barely talks English. goddammit.
Yeah, you pray to get a dude that's half of this.
Do you want me to walk?
Yeah.
I will walk.
Yeah, exactly.
The Green Valley shit. You want me to walk?
I had to be like, nah, man, we gonna come get you.
No, we gonna see you playing. My God. Okay. Just want to prevent for my family. You know, like this guy. And I think that makes it more dangerous. That's why I was asking that question, because I really feel like if it is a basic role, right? You look at our defensive tackles from after Jordan Davis, because you're not really talking to the Jalen Carters or more, actual end style defensive tackle. You're talking about the nose tackle. You just got Jordan Davis. You know what I'm saying? That's the only real big physical speed specimen. You can probably put him in those Jordan Davis type roles to back up Jordan Davis. Like, he's 306. How big Jordan's like, well, 345, 350, depending on how his offseason went, But in terms of height, size, like, he'll be the second biggest guy in that defensive line. Like, bigger than Carter, bigger than Moro Jomo, bigger than all these cats. So,
yeah, exactly.
He might can see the field at an earlier rate than a Jordan Mailata. You know what I'm saying? Where it took Mailata because A, you had guys in front of you that were good, and B, that's a lot of movement at tackle. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to stop bull rushes, stop, speed rushes, outside, inside, left, you know what I'm saying? Pull, do all this stuff. When you're a DT, you going up the field. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Yep. I absolutely I love the fact that he owned. Look, I'm an IPP. I'm an International Players Pathway guy. I'm coming out of Nigeria. Here's the Nigerian flag draped over me. Yeah. I'm owning it. I'm owning what I am. And I was like, man, like this is unique, man. I think we just saw the first of something that's going to happen quite frequently now. I think you're going to see a lot of organizations doing this in the 7th round.
He'd be crazy with it because he wasn't even the only one we got. Where'd the other one? Where'd the other boy go? What's his name? Worry?
Yeah, he's one that's difficult. Yeah, something Worry. Yeah, another one. Yeah, another edge player, I believe, isn't he?
6'4", 244, ran a 4.5 40 with 11.2 broad jump. Athletic freak.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was just like, man, like I didn't think we were going to draft him. So when I heard that name get called, I was like, oh shit, no way, no way, how he just did this.
Like you said, you're that late in the round, why not?
Yeah. It caught me off guard because I was like, yo, because they were quiet about it. I didn't hear much from the Eagles about him. But I mean, you knew behind the scenes, like you knew that.
And look how excited these guys.
We're gonna take Bernard.
Hey, buddy, how we doing?
What's up?
I'm the GM of the Eagles. We had a chance to work out with Coach Heitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, be pretty cool if we drafted you right here.
Yes, sir.
We're going to draft you with this pick. We're going to bring you to Philly. We're going to develop you. We're going to get everything out of you that we can, and we're going to rally around you. Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to walk here. We'll get you a flight. We'll get you a flight, I promise. Can't wait to see you in person. Congratulations to you and your family. Very special.
This is Coach Sirianni.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations, man.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Happy for you. Looking forward to working with you.
You are, Coach Heitter.
Yeah, Coach.
Yeah, buddy, let's go.
Let's go, boy.
Hey, man, it's time to get to work.
Hey, listen, we know the work we got in front of us, but there's no doubt in my mind we'll get that done. You understand? There's no sleep. Stay up every second of the day. We're going to get this thing done.
Yes, sir.
Bro, why Clint Hurt look like a damn bouncer, bro? He looks like a straight bouncer, man.
Dude, did you hear him? It was like they were talking to Florida State student. He didn't even know what really was going on at the time. Yeah. He wasn't. It didn't sound like he knew exactly what was going on at the minute. Like, I'm Howie Roseman. I
don't think he had any idea what they were saying for a second.
Okay.
It was probably just honestly the shock of it. It's probably you plan for that moment, but you don't know how you're going to react when like that actually happens to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that was definitely kind of one of those moments where he's like, "Oh shit, this is happening!" Like, but you saw when Clint got on the phone, bro.
He was happy then.
He was like, "Yo, let's go,
Coach. Let's go."
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Green Wing Man 662 with a $10 super check. He said, "If I'm Big Banjo and Clint Hurt, I'm strapping DT Bernard in a chair like he's in Winter Soldier for 2 years. And he'll do nothing but watch Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald." Yep, exactly. And that's who he said he watches already. You know what I'm saying? Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald. Like, you don't need to look at no other, because those are two most dominant players at the time with their, traits, being that fast, being that physical, being that big. Like, so, yeah, you put them in front of those guys. I don't want you looking at nobody else, because you're going to play with Jalen Carter. You're going to play with Jordan Davis. Those are two guys, too. You're going to be watching every day in practice. They're going to be helping you get, acclimated. So, man, do that. Strap them in there. Lock down. Don't go nowhere. Okay, Coach. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay right here.
You are. Hold the line, bro. Hold the line. You are.
That's all you really got to do. You think about it. Goal line. That could be a spot that you can get some PT in early. Like, you're not a starter, but, hey, go put him on a goal line to tell him, stop him. Stop him, Bernard. Okay.
I was like, man, when I started looking into this young man, like at first I heard it like just randomly on YouTube. I heard about this guy and I'm like, oh, there's no way in hell. I started looking him up and I was like, oh shit, this is a real human. This isn't AI. I was like, this ain't AI. This is a damn person.
He's for real. What tribe you get this guy from? I come play football. I think he's gonna be a great guy, man. A great guy. Like, I think, like you said, I think you probably be able to sneak him out there after a year. You know what I'm saying? Give him a year. And I don't think it's going to take the full 3 years, because it's like I said, I just feel like it's a different position. We don't need the same trajectory as Jordan Mailata. Like, Mailata needed to freaking hang out for a while and learn how to use his feet and be that, You're not running the ball no more. You're blocking people. So I think him, go upfield, go tackle. And I wonder, like, he's going to be that much bigger in football pads, too. You think about that.
Yeah.
He's going to be taller in the cleats. He's going to be that much bigger and wider in football pads. He's going to be
hands, bro. My man got 11-inch hands, bro.
He probably used to
grab and control you. Like, that's grab and control.
What I'm saying? Did you see the drill where he was doing the pass bucket and he was hitting a tree?
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't hitting no bag. The man was doing pass rush move hitting trees. And it looked like the tree was a little worn out.
Yeah. Could you imagine if they still had Stout in the room and they're trying to decide if he's an offensive lineman or defensive lineman? Stout and Hurt fight. Like, hell no. He a D lineman.
Bring him over here. Bring him over here.
Yeah, he a D lineman. Get out of here with this shit, Stout.
Heck yeah, man. But hey, man, that's good, man. So overall, what grade are you giving this draft for Philadelphia?
Right now, I'd probably give it it's B plus A minus territory for me. I think there's some legitimate concerns with it, but I think you got to be realistic to what the draft class was. Mm-hmm. Like, it's easy to hit when there's a draft that's full of damn talent. It's a lot harder when it's a couple of really good blue chip players, and then you get this whole mix of in between players for a good 75, 80 picks, right? Mm-hmm. That's going to be the difficult part. Is trying to figure out that 75, 80 picks part. Hey, let me make sure I can get this thing to connect again.
Yeah, but y'all know Lemon gets in it. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
All right.
I'm so
Let me
happy.
bring that back, bro. Sorry, somebody was calling me.
No worries.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell happened? Why am I disconnected? I got it through my phone.
To be honest, that's the best way. I'm trying to get I got an extra phone. I got a new phone on my upgrade. I'm trying to get my old phone to be my camera instead, but the problem I'm having is right now, trying to get it so that it doesn't pick up the audio, so it doesn't make the echoing noise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
it is.
I'm trying to figure that, work that out.
I got into so what I did is I use a program called Irium. So if you use Irium, and then I got my mic so then I'll run it through my mic. The only bad part is because of my desktop setup, I have to have, because like the speakers just aren't good enough. That's on the desktop. But yeah, that's the way I run it myself, because it's hard. Like, you're not going to get 4K quality images unless you pay a shit ton of money for a webcam. Like, it's going to be ridiculously expensive to get that kind of quality. Like, there's a few of them that are decent for, $100, $200, but it is kind of one of those things where it's like, well, we're carrying this thing in our pocket. It's got a hell of a camera on it.
The thing about it is, like, even with this camera, like, you get to these cameras are decent, right? But like, you don't see all the extra. Like, I got green lights on right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when you and your freaking iPhone, you turn it on, you see the green lights. It looks the way I want it to look. So that's definitely why I want to get that thing going.
I also like the fact that you can color balance it manually, or not manually, but you can do it automatically. So that way it just kind of picks it up. I mean, I could see sometimes like the focus, if I do that, I can see the focus cuts for a second. Yeah, but I mean, it picks up and does a pretty good job of tracking and going back in. But yeah, man, I appreciate you, Birdgang.
Hey, thanks again, man. Salute to you. Make sure you guys go, hit that subscribe on Skate City Sports over there, man. He's a film guy. When you want to know film, you want to know stats, you want to know a really deep dive into players, that's definitely the guy you want to go check out, man. Like, go make sure you guys hit him up, hit that like, hit that follow, hit that subscribe. You guys make sure you guys get out there, man. The website is launched. It's growing every day, guys. I'm being more shocked than I knew. It is growing. Philadelphia Eagles super fans is growing out there. Go check it out. All you got to do is type in birdgangnation.vip, because you are a VIP as being an Eagles fan. And go check out once you check it out, I promise you got everything you need on there. It's fun, you know what I'm saying? We got some ambassadors coming to help push it out there too. And Gate, if you want to, you can, throw a couple of bones our way too, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be good, man. Like, it's for Eagles fans. It's not just for content. It's not just for one thing. There's a million things on there to do, from trading cars, betting, freaking, dating, whatever you want. Best places to watch the game, go tailgate. Got a lot of GPS things going on there. So check it out. Have some fun. Get some SP points up, and yeah, man. Like, what's the next thing you got going on over there with you?
Breaking down a ton of film right now. The next video that I'm working on is I'm gonna go over Markel Bell. That's the next one. There's a lot to kind of break down here in terms of technique, what I see on the tape. One by one, man. You got all these UDFAs. We got guys we got to talk about that we selected last year and kind of blossoming the role and whether or not they're going to be fit, and like taking a look at what their tape showed last year and where they need to improve upon and things like that. Like, it's going to be like kind of player breakdown season, unfortunately, until we get to the actual season, the storyline from, it's just not there. Like, you know what I mean? There's not a storylines to cover, unfortunately, unless Rossini does something crazy again, but
Let's go, Diana. Give us something crazy. The AJ Brown thing, man. June 1st Patriots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be the next big one to probably be what the hell happens on June 1st, what the compensation is. If he even goes to New England, I think that's an interesting one in itself. Like, it seems like it's pretty much been pre-decided, but
yeah, kind of like the Minnesota and Grenard.
Yeah, a month is a long time, man, for people to change minds on things. That's what I wonder is if does another team say, shit, we didn't get our player, so
but they didn't get a receiver either, though.
Yeah, New England didn't. I know, but I mean, another team looks and goes, because you got Ayuk's going to eventually be available.
Mm-hmm.
You got this whole situation down there in Dallas. I mean, it could get interesting. It could honestly get interesting around this stuff. I don't know if I would mess around if I got if I got AJ available, even with the degenerative knee shit that they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would lean towards AJ. But I mean, you could look at Pickens down with Dallas. I think that's people. It's a matter of the character of the player, and I think that's more so where people are having like cultural fit things with him and whether or not they like him. I don't think he was that bad I don't recall hearing shit about his anything off the field or anything like that with Dallas. It just seems to be he got pissed off over the contract to me.
Well, yeah. You know?
Like that's one like could be interesting. I don't know if I would go after I wouldn't go Ayuk before I went like Pickens or AJ Brown. Personally, just because of the injury to Ayuk. Ayuk's coming off that knee. He's been out of football for this length of time. Like, it's like, man, is he going to be what he once was? I think that one's a little bit iffy, but I mean, there are 3 guys that are kind of floating around there. You know what I mean? All 3 of them are pretty damn big name players too.
Yeah.
So I am curious to see if other teams don't start getting involved in the mix here. I'm trying to think though in my head, like who the hell is who's the contender?
Cleveland.
Need. You think Cleveland's a contender though?
They can use a good receiver. They got cap space.
Maybe Buffalo.
You know? We want Myles Garrett.
Who did Buffalo? Didn't Buffalo trade for somebody?
I don't think we can get Myles no more. I think we got Jannard.
Yeah. I think Buffalo traded for someone recently too.
Both? No, he traded both of them. Right.
Let's see. They were looking, I guess, moving Keon Coleman. I thought, oh yeah, they traded for DJ Moore. So yeah, they may not be in. Yeah, they probably are feeling that they're adequate at the position.
The Jets, maybe they need a cool.
Yeah, I mean, if they see themselves as contenders, but
do you
I
think
don't know if
they a package with AJ and McKee, or what do you think? If you don't look at the AJ part of it, what do you think McKee's value is? Because I think you should be able to get at least a 3rd rounder. You know, a desperate team, a 2nd rounder, but at least a 3rd rounder.
I would hope you get something in the realm of at minimum a 4th. 3rd is where I would want to be for him, just because if you're going to trade for him and he's going to start for you, a starter should be worth a 3rd round value. That's where starters are chosen in the first 3 rounds. Is generally speaking how you structure your board. Mm-hmm. I'd probably especially like if I'm trading him to a team that could potentially be a contender, makes it a little bit more. Like if they're a contender, then you got to give me a 3rd because that could be a very low 3rd round pick.
Yeah,
that could be 90 something.
Yeah.
If someone's trying to improvise on the 4th round pick, then I got to believe that this is going to be a top 10 pick in the 4th round. Like this team's not very good. They're not going to do well in the season, and that 4th round pick is going to be basically damn near a compensatory 3rd round pick essentially. But that's the problem is like looking at like trying to figure out the values and like how to structure it, because like you can make an argument if it's a contender they might want that might be where they got that 2nd round value from. Like, well, hell no. I mean, if the team's picking 28 backwards, then we want 2nd round value. Like, because that's basically the 3rd damn round. It just I think it depends upon the team. Essentially,
what had to name a team, who do you think he'd go to? Like for me, I'll say right now, if I had to name a team we trade, it would be Jets and Cardinals in terms of their quarterback situation. They
Jets
might
and Cardinals make a ton of sense. I could see both of those teams. That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
The Dolphins, I think, could make some sense.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It depends on how they feel about Malik Willis and how successful he is, but. I don't know if that'd be the most ideal situation though, because you're bringing two backups in to basically, you know what I mean? Like you're probably going to piss one of those 2 guys off.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to think, man, who else would really have an opening like that? Pittsburgh, maybe. Steelers.
If Aaron doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be nice too. You wouldn't have to go nowhere.
I mean, see, that's a tough part too, is because if you trade them, even if you can make the argument like, well, no, you just sitting behind Rodgers for a year, then he's a starter. But it's like, yeah, but now you got to extend him, and you have no idea. You have no idea if he's going to work for you or not. Like,
I think you trade for him and give up any value. You're going to have to trade him to play him.
Yeah, I was like Pittsburgh could make some sense. Arizona makes.
Think he's better than Shador or Deshaun Watson?
I don't know about Watson translating anymore.
He hasn't did anything in years.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to translate anymore. Like it's a shame because like there was a time where he was a damn good quarterback.
One of the best.
Like, it just man. After that scandal and all that, like man, you talk about derailing someone's career, man. Like he's been in the shitter, man. And we were interested in that for a while. We had interest in.
Were we really, or did they try to make it seem like we were?
Probably the latter. There was probably some interest there, but I'm pretty sure they hyped the interest to try to force trade value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure Howie picked up the phone and called, probably got a feel for
what do you want, bro?
Yeah.
Okay. too much.
Exactly.
All right, my guy,
How much?
I'll get you out of here. I know you got things to do too. I got to get going. It's always a pleasure, man. I hope we get to do some more this season. You know what I'm saying? I'll be checking out your videos, checking out the breakdowns as always. And like I said, man, have a great rest of your day. Any last words before you get out of here?
That's it, man. What's up, Cerebral community? Appreciate y'all tuning in, watching us here tonight. And hey, man, fly Eagles fly.
Fly, Eagles fly, and go Birds. We out. Peace.
How about our quarterback?
How about your
How about our quarterback?
Your quarterback.
He's a stud.